Welcome, everybody. We've got actually a special guest today, and I'm excited to actually get out there and start talking to him about some of the amazing things that this fellow has done. And we planned this earlier, except, of course, couldn't get together and actually do our last one. So I'm going to bring up Skeet, and we are going to chat. Hello, sir.
Everybody. How you doing, Daryl? It's good to see you. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, no problem. It was good to have you here.
Nice. Thank you.
So, you enjoying the weather?
Loving it. Yeah, I'm over at my parents' house right now, and it's about 75 degrees today, so it was really nice.
Nice.
Yes, very nice.
So we've got Bree in the house. We got Bree and V in the house.
Nice. Hello.
So we're gonna dive right into this. I was going back through your videos, and you go back a long ways in YouTube as well.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, 2012.
Yeah. So
Started.
what kind of made you want to start YouTube back then?
So back in 2012, I went through a divorce, and that was very depressing for me. So I thought, well, I can either sit here and be sad, or I can get out and do something. So I decided to get out and do something about it. And that's what kind of got me going on YouTube. I spent time out in the woods. I took my daughter out there, and that was really something that I enjoyed. It got me out, and it got me in a good place mentally. I was out, breathing fresh air and exercising, and it was very positive for me. It helped out a lot with my recovery, from depression.
It's something that kind of keeps you busy. I mean, I was kind of doing that. I mean, we started our channel because of COVID, because of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my mind's always going, and then COVID hits, and you're going, okay, now what? And I was stressing. So
Yes,
that's why we started doing the adventures, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can relate. Now,
yeah, absolutely.
Cayden had an interesting question, and it actually made me start to think. His question was, where'd you get your name from? He's like, it's a different name. He's never heard it before.
That's a very good question, and thank you, Cayden, for asking. It's fantastic. Long time ago, I was competing in martial arts. I studied Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and been doing it for a long time, since the early 90s. And when the whole internet thing started and everybody was out looking around for an email address, I didn't know what to name it. So I thought, well, let me put Jiu-Jitsu and see if I can Jiu-Jitsu at Yahoo. Let me see if that's open. Well, it wasn't open. So I tried Jiu-Jitsu 99, and that wasn't open. So I typed in Jiu-Jitsu 2000, and it was open. So I took the name 2000, which had another meaning to it, because in 2000, I actually competed in the USKA Nationals and took a silver medal. So it's kind of fitting, the name Jiu-Jitsu 2000. It was pretty neat. That's how I got my name, though. It was a lot of fun.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Cayden's like, well, can I be Taekwondo Cayden?
Yeah, absolutely. Laughing. Yeah, for sure.
So you started the channel. So what inspired you to go the way you went with your channel?
With the reloading?
Yeah.
So starting the channel was a lot of reloading ammunition, and that's really funny, because my daughter and I at the time had gotten a new camcorder. It was our first digital camcorder where we didn't have to have the little tapes and stuff like that. It was the first camcorder that shot 1080p, and it had an SD card.
Yeah.
So my daughter wanted to learn how to use it, and she said, well, I want to learn how to film. I want to learn how to use this camera. And I said, well, let's go out to the shop. I'll reload a bullet and you'll have something to film. And if I can put this video together, I'll put it on YouTube if it turns out. And it wasn't going to go on YouTube for the fact that I wanted to give it to the world. And I knew that I would, but it was more for a place to store the video. So she filmed me and I reloaded a bullet and it turned out good. And then we uploaded the video and then people started commenting on it, leaving very good comments like, wow, you know, really good video. And we were just messing around in the shop and I didn't feel like I did anything special. So I thought, man, if these people like what I'm doing when I'm just messing around, I wonder what they would think if I actually tried and did an actual reloading presentation. So I did some of those types of videos and they got very popular very quick and people loved them. And then I kind of got, I'm not going to say I got tired of reloading, but I kind of got where I wanted to do something different, kind of shift gears. And so that's when I started doing the survival stuff and going out in the woods and camping and things like that.
Now, did you have experience doing that, or was it just something you just thought, you know, it's something good to know, so let's get out and do it?
Yes, I had experience for sure. I've been out in the woods all my life. I've always been camping and hiking, and I had taken a wilderness survival instructor certification course, and I got certified to teach. And so I thought it would be neat to share that knowledge with the viewers and let them see what that stuff looks like, you know.
Interesting.
And it worked out pretty good. Yeah.
Now, have you taught that to anybody as well?
Yes, I have. Taught my first, and I wasn't the full-on instructor. I was kind of a backup instructor, but I hosted a class for the SE Knife Company. The very first Arizona desert survival class. We had 4 students, and they paid like $400 a student or something like that to SE to come out. And I hosted the class on my land, and we stayed about 4 days out there. And it was fantastic, and it went very well. And we're getting ready to do it again this year, April 9th through like the 12th, I think it is. We're going to be out there again, and I'll be teaching again. And so it's kind of neat taking it from teaching on YouTube to actually teaching individuals. It was very cool. But I'm not new to teaching because I've been teaching martial arts for so long. So teaching as a skill set is pretty something that I'm used to, I guess you could say. So I'm just doing a new skill, showing people, you know, in the survival and things like that.
Interesting. So where do you think you get all your strength from? Your like, I don't mean muscle, I just mean your will, your strength, your drive.
Yeah, determination. When I see people leaving comments or people sending me an email and they're saying, hey man, you know, you really inspired me, or I saw your video and it really helped me out, or something like that, those types of comments and things that I hear, they really keep me going. And then you know, yeah, it's just seeing people happy with the product that we're presenting makes me happy, makes me keep going.
No, I hear what you're saying there. I think that's great. So if you were to give some advice to somebody just starting, and I guess there's so much, I mean, you do a lot. So, I mean, we can narrow the question down. So if you were to give advice to somebody who's just starting YouTube, for instance, because, I mean, we're on YouTube, what advice would that be?
I would have to say have thick skin, because you know how the comments can be, and people can tune in and say all kinds of nasty things, and they'll say some things that really hurt your feelings sometimes. But you gotta push that stuff aside and look at what you're putting out there and realize that, you know, you can't please everyone. You could put out literally the perfect video and somebody's going to cry about something in that video. So having thick skin, I think, is very important.
So I guess the question lays then, are you doing it for yourself or are you doing it for others?
A little bit of both. I worked for the railroad for so long, for 16 years. I was starting my 17th year, and I gotten fired from the railroad for a speeding incident that I had on one of my trains, and they terminated me. So I had YouTube always as a backup kind of thing, but when I got fired from the railroad, I went full time, and I was so blessed to have had that ability to do that. Otherwise, I would have had to been out finding something different to do. So it's really been good to have that on the back burner, I guess you could say. And it was something that got built through passion and through, you know, being on fire to share information with people and having that thick skin when it comes to the comment section.
Well, and I think that's where kind of V says it in the chat here. She's like, it's that drive.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Right? And I think that's true. I mean, we all, and even with life, you get negative comments, you get negative people. And I think it's important. YouTube is kind of that shrunken down a little. So, well, sometimes it's not shrunken either. You get more. But you're putting yourself out to be liked or disliked. And you're going to have both. And it's like you said, you need to have a thick skin.
Yeah,
I think it's very important.
For sure. So, I think another thing to go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, continue.
I was going to say, I think another thing to touch on is the growth of your channels. You know, like when I first started, I didn't think anybody wanted to watch what I was doing. And then the next thing you know, I got 100 subscribers. And then I thought, well, wow, 100 people are watching me. You know, it's pretty cool. And then before you know it, I had 1,000, and then 5,000, and then 25,000. And your channel, if you're putting the work in and being positive with your people and being honest with them and showing them what you're doing and putting your truth out there, there's really nothing that'll stop that ball from rolling. You know, I've learned that people in some ways will watch almost anything about you because they want to see you. They want to see what you're about and what you're doing, what makes you happy, what you're passionate about. And when you kind of incorporate those things in your videos, people love that. For example, if I go out and I do a camping video and I'm going to make a fire, I try not to talk about making the fire as I'm doing it, but yet I try to turn it into story time. I try to show them like a story from my childhood or something, because they already know that I'm making a fire. I don't need to tell them, you know, hey, this is what I'm doing to make this fire. But I try to put it into a perspective of story time so that they'll learn something about me. And then they want to watch more. They want to tune in to see what the next thing is that they're going to learn about me, because they know that I'm not just going to be talking about making a fire, you know, if that makes sense.
Yep. It's opening up and giving tidbits of information. So you said about being honest and stuff. Why is honesty so important to you?
I think because the people that support you, they're like an extended version of your family, and I think being real with them makes them appreciate you more. It puts value to your channel. Like if I'm going to do a review of a product and that product isn't solid, I'm not going to endorse that product at all. I'll say that this thing sucks. This is terrible. Don't buy it. And I've lost plenty of sponsorships from that, because some people will send you a product and they'll want you to give them some dynamite review. And I simply won't do that. And I think the people appreciate that because I put it out there for what it is. You know, an apple is an apple.
And people trust, like if you build that reputation being honest, and I agree with you. I think honesty is the best way of doing things. I find that if you lie, it's too much work.
Right.
You got to
Yeah, that's
remember the
true.
lie
You
that
gotta,
the lie and the lie that went on top of that lie. It's just like, yeah, no, it's easier to be honest.
absolutely,
And
without
I
a
think
doubt,
people respect you for that as well.
for
Um,
sure.
because you've built that trust for people, and I think that it's important as well. So
Hmm.
you're out there, you're out in the woods. What's one of your biggest fears?
One of my biggest fears is having to come home too soon because I love being out there. I'm in my element out there. And losing weight, of course, because a lot of my videos when I'm out there, I'm doing survival related videos where I'm not bringing in the calories that I should be, because I'm trying to show how a person can live on minimal calories. So, but as far as fear, when I'm out there, running into people sometimes, because it's not animals that bother me, it's people sometimes that bother me, because they're, an animal at least is predictable. At least when you look over there and you see a bear, you know what his intentions are. He's honest with you. This guy, if I mess around, this bear is going to want to eat me. So there's nothing better than that honesty in a relationship between me and that animal. But people can be so much different. They can be so unpredictable. You'll see somebody and they'll be nice to you, and then they're cutting your throat behind your back. So
That's true.
that would be one of the things that I'm afraid of, I guess. Some people.
I hear you. I hear you on
Yeah,
that one.
it's kind of crazy. Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it makes so much sense there, right? Because I think sometimes people they don't think, and that's, I don't know. I just think sometimes that's where a lot of issues can arise from.
I agree.
So what's one of the, we'll stick on the YouTube thing here for a bit. What's one of the best comments that you've ever received? We'll play both sides.
So one of the best comments would have been from one of the people that I really admire, and I won't say his name, but he was a contestant on History Channel's show Alone. And he had been on 2 different seasons of History Channel Alone, and he invited me up to Canada to hang out with him and shoot a survival series. So that was probably one of the most coolest comments I ever got. It was from somebody I really look up to. And since then, now we're on Messenger and we're friends on Facebook, and it's a very private individual that it's ended up being a pretty good friend. So it's kind of neat.
That's cool. So I know that you've talked about this before. I don't know how many people know, but have you tried out for some of these shows like Naked and Afraid and Alone? And
Absolutely, I have multiple times for Alone, and they had a kind of a branched off version of the History Channel hit show called Alone. They had another show called Alone the Beast, and I put in for that as well. They actually reached out to me, and I almost got selected for that, for Alone the Beast. They had over 12,000 applicants, and I got to the top 40. So I almost made the show, but in the end, I didn't make the selection. But it was kind of an honor to see how far I got through the casting process. But yeah, currently I'm looking at still trying to go on Alone if they ever reach out. It's hard to get on those shows, but they're a life-changing event if they do.
so what's your opinion of Naked and Afraid then?
I think Naked and Afraid is awesome. I put out for that show too, so I would go there too. I think the naked part raises a level of challenge to the survivability aspect. So not only are you trying to survive for 21 days, but now you face the added element of being exposed to the elements. So that makes survival so much harder. And I think a lot of people don't quite understand what that means. They just think that it's, a guy and a gal out there getting naked, and there's much more depth to it than that.
Oh, there
They're
is.
out
Your
there
clothes act
adding,
as a
yeah,
your clothes are a
for
barrier to the elements, to
they
the
are.
bugs, to everything. And people,
Yes.
I don't. They say, okay, yeah, they're going naked, but no,
Yeah,
you're exposed. You're exposing yourself, obviously, but you're
for
exposing
sure.
yourself to everything: the weather, to the cold, to the bugs, to the mosquitoes, to
Yep.
everything.
Yep. Hypothermia. I mean, your body, if you think about survival and you think about one of the most important things in survival, that is shelter. And shelter is your clothing in some cases. And now they've taken that away. So you're out there almost without shelter. If you think about that, hypothermia can happen in as little as 3 minutes, if you're in extreme temperatures, it could be fatal in as little as 3 hours. So it's very interesting. I would love to go on the show like that. It'd be cool.
So, okay, we'll stay on that then. If you were to go on the show,
Okay.
what's your one item you would take?
Oh, that's a good question. I would think that I would probably take a knife. That would be my number one item. A knife would be, because you can use your knife to create other items in the field, but
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to recreate a knife. I mean, anytime that you have stone cutting tools, you break one rock against another rock and you get some cutting edge, it doesn't last long, and it's very difficult to do things like friction fire, cutting your set with a stone tool. So a knife gives you the ability to make, I guess you could say, it speeds up the process of making other items for survival. Like you can process, wood to make shelter. You could process game. If you get it, you could use it for so many things, making cordage and fire making. If you have a high carbon steel knife, you could in some cases bang a rock against that spine of the knife and create a spark and get a fire out of it. So a knife is, in my opinion, the number one tool in survival. That's what I would take for sure.
So I think it's like V said, Skeet, you need all sorts of strength, mental, physical, and emotional.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And I,
That is
I
a
think
very
some
good.
and I think some of that V said kind of can fall back onto your like. And let's dive into that a little. Um, I know you're a Christian. I
Mhm,
don't know what your religious roots are, but how does
mhm.
that um, interact with your everyday life?
Oh, like my religion is big in my everyday life. There's nothing I can do that I can't do without God in my life. I need him. I'm a Christian, and it's not because I'm better. It's because I'm a failure and I know that I need God.
And I think
Like I make, huh?
And no, and I agree with you because I think that most people think that, Christians think they're better than others, but Christians, I always consider the church like a hospital. So you're going there to be healed. You're going there to find what's missing in your life. Whether
Yes.
it's sickness that you're going through with family or whatever. You're going there to find friends. You're going there to sing. You're going there to meet people. You're going there. There's a lots of different things as well.
Right. Fellowship with other people too.
Yeah.
That gives you, there's entertainment factor, and then the factor of just having that option to pray for other people. I personally believe in miracles, that things can happen. Like some people might go to the doctor and they'll say, well, the doctor says I'm gonna die in 3 weeks. Well, I think that's up to God. I don't think a doctor can say, okay, you're only going to live for 3 weeks. He doesn't create life. He damn sure can't take it. So I think God's in control on that one. That's just my personal opinion.
Well, and the thing is, I think sometimes we blame God for a lot of stuff, and we don't
Mm-hmm.
see. Like I look at when my mother passed. Um, I remember just going there and going, well, why? But then I looked at it later on, and I'm going, okay, with her passing, like I had fallen away from the church. I was into the clubs, I was into the parties, I was into all that stuff. And one of her last words to me was that she was worried that she wouldn't see me in heaven. And that really struck home with me. And it got my brain working. And I mean, it was a few years later, but when Cayden was born, I just felt, there's something missing in my life. And I didn't know what it was. And then I started going back to church. And I'm going, bingo.
Yeah, I can kind of relate to you. Yeah. And there are some other Christians out there that are very judgmental of other Christians. When I went through a divorce, I had a very good friend of mine, also another Christian, and he didn't like that I filed for divorce, and he didn't talk to me no more. He thought that I had done wrong, or I'm like, wow, you're going to be a judgmental guy? Okay, whatever. Sorry.
You're not in my shoes until you walk in someone's shoes.
It is what it is. Yeah, absolutely. Right? So for sure.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like V said. I agree, Skeet. Church is like a hospital. And that is a perfect analogy, Daryl. Yeah, I remember hearing someone say that one, and it kind of really struck home. And it's really funny. I remember back singing in church, right? And I remember singing DC Talk, and it was in the 90s, right? And our church was very conservative at that time. So a friend of mine, we sang the song. We're done, and this church is like quiet. You could hear crickets, and we're going, okay. But now the church is not as conservative, and the same kind of songs and even more. I mean, the drums are out and everything else, and I'm going, we were ahead of our time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that'd be a good memory to hang on to.
So Limi says it, and this was actually one of my questions, was if you had five items, what would you bring?
So we talked about the knife as my number one item. That's my cutting tool. And then, of course, I need some way of making fire. So a combustion device, a lighter, a big lighter, a ferro rod, or something like that. And then I need some cordage and some sort of tarp type material. So there's 4. And then my last one would be a stainless steel pot that I can purify water in. So yeah, a knife, a way of making fire, cordage, a tarp, and a pot, stainless steel pot. Those would be 5 items that I would take.
Okay. So you're going to purify your water by boiling it.
Absolutely.
Now, if you're out there and you're hiking, what do you take with you for water?
For water, I take, you can take that. Yeah, those are 0.2 micron, so they are very effective. The only thing about the life straw that turns me off is you have to have something to put your water in, and then you put your straw in there, and then you drink the water through, or you can put it directly in the source, but it puts you down close to the source. I like those Sawyer filters. They're 0.1 micron. They're a little tighter tolerance, and they're really good.
The Treo ones? Yeah. Have you tried the
those are fantastic. Yeah, I have.
They're great.
Those are fantastic. Yeah. Those are fantastic.
No, like they sent it to me. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like I'll try it out and all that. But when I read through all the information on this thing, I'm just like, holy cow. Like, and it's easy. And it's a water bottle. And that's what I like about it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so simple.
They work very good. Super
Because I used to have like a little pump filter, right? And it was just like, this is so much easier.
Yeah, those are very effective. And if I'm not mistaken, those actually take out the elements too, like odor and taste out of the water too. So they make it taste good and not stink. Yeah. So some of the water sources that I go to are terrible. Like you see things swimming around and algae growing, and they're pretty sketchy sometimes. Well, of the water sources that
I was watching another survivalist, which we won't say the name of, and he's out there with his life straw, in this, I don't even know what you want to call it, murky, gross water, and he's got his straw right in there. I'm just going, gross.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. What those life straws do is they make the water biologically safe to drink. So they take out the protozoas, the cysts, the giardia, the cryptosporidium. They take those things out of the water. And other than that, like if there's any kind of metals or chemicals or anything like that in the water, they do nothing for that.
Yeah.
So having a charcoal type based filter with a hollow fiber membrane, those types of water filters are the most effective.
Interesting. So what's your least favorite thing about doing YouTube?
Least favorite. You're probably going to laugh at this answer, but I'm going to be real with you for a second. So my least favorite thing about doing YouTube is when I go out for a camping trip or something with no cameras and I'm just with my friends or whatever, and I'm just going to go for me. Sometimes I get out there and I feel like I should be filming. I'm like, damn, look at that sunset, man. I could be doing a time lapse right now.
I did that today.
That's probably, yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm not going to film.
My least favorite.
I'm traveling around. I'm like, oh, look at that building. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that school, 1907. I'm like, okay, whip the camera out and start filming and find this old road. Like, okay, start filming. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
You're always
I would say
thinking,
probably
right?
another one. Yeah, you're always turning. And another one would probably be when people want to send you products. They'll send me like, they'll say, oh, okay, we got a flashlight. We want you to check out our flashlight. So I'll say, okay, go ahead and send me the light. And then before, the flashlight will arrive today and they're already emailing me. Like, when's the video going to be up? It's like, I got to film, I got to edit, I got to upload, I got to render, I got all these steps I got to do. But sometimes these companies like to rush you on getting their video out. And it's like, relax.
Yeah.
I'm going to review your flashlight, but I'm going to do a good job, but just give me a little time. I think that's one of the least favorite things about being a YouTuber for me.
And yeah, we've had the same thing. Like, I just had somebody, they wanted to send us some headlamps, right? And there's like, okay, when will, I said, well, number one, I have to receive it. Number two, I need to try it out. I said, I'm going to be honest. Like, if it sucks, I'm going to tell people. They're like, okay, fair enough. And I'm just like, okay. But I need to see it in real world circumstances as well. So I got to try it out. We'll experiment with it, see how it works. I said, I'm going to be honest. Like you said, I'm going to be honest to people. Like, if it's great, perfect. They're like, okay, that's perfect.
For
I'm
sure.
like, okay.
Absolutely.
But I mean, some of the
try
stuff
to
that you
rush you.
can't do it. It's like, yeah, no.
Yeah, they want to rush you and be like, when is the video up? And we saw that it got delivered today. How come, when's the video due? Like,
Yeah.
I'll get it.
So this is a question I get asked as well. So I'm going to ask you. You're starting your YouTube channel. What equipment would you use? Go buy a bunch of new stuff and get going, or?
Yeah, that's a good one, because I think I'd recommend use what you have until you get on your feet. If you got a phone that's got a decent camera, use that. If you got, an old GoPro, or you got whatever you got, I would suggest using that until you get going and get an audience built. And especially when it comes to the time of being monetized and making a little cash off of YouTube, those ads and stuff. And there's some channels that don't even monetize, It's kind of interesting. Oh, there he is.
Yeah. She's like, okay, I can hear you. I need to be on camera.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't see me.
She's so sweet. My dog Blondie, she's the same way. Anytime I go to the bathroom, she sits outside the door cries until I come out.
It's like when I
She's
go
right by my feet.
when I come home. When I come home,
Yeah.
it's so sweet because I get like a good 2 minutes of just hugs and kisses and just craziness, right? It's like you've been gone forever. It's like, don't do that to me.
Yep, that's right.
So how many dogs do you have?
I have one dog.
Okay.
And I'm at my mom's here right now. She's got 3 dogs. So we got a total of 4 here right now. Yep.
So how many videos do you put out a week?
I try to do 1 or 2 a week. I used to be a lot more disciplined on that. Like I used to do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I've got almost 1,500 videos now. So I'm kind of like, whenever I post it, I post it. I've kind of settled down on that. Yeah, it's a lot of camera time. I looked the other day, and Dave Canterbury has a huge channel, and I have more videos than he does. Dave Canterbury. He's like super famous, but you know, it's crazy looking at camera time. It's nuts.
Wow. You see maybe 5-10 minutes of footage, but there's maybe an hour or 2 hours of stuff crammed into that. That's all edited
true.
And everything else.
Yeah,
and then who knows how many
think a lot of the I think the video, a lot of the viewers that aren't fellow creators, I don't think they completely understand that sometimes. Like, you know, for every minute that they see, there's probably 15 minutes that we spent, you know, between setting up a camera angle or you know, dragging our equipment. Oh, the battery died, so this is the 3rd time I've done this specific take. Or I can't talk today, and my words are jumbling, and I'm like, oh shit.
Take 5.
Yeah, let me try that again.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, dang it! Now right. I missed that beautiful sunset. It's like,
yeah, that's funny.
Yep,
that's so true. Yep.
No, I haven't gotten those yet, D. I should be getting them in a week or so. But yeah.
Yeah. I see a comment that dropped in. What do I use to edit my videos? So I use several. I use Linux for my operating system. First off, I don't use Microsoft. I don't use Windows. So I use a couple different versions of Linux as my operating system on my computer. The one that I'm using right now is Linux Ubuntu. And then I use another Linux called Zorin. It's a paid version, and it's fantastic. And those Linux operating systems have some free video editing software. It's open source software, so it's completely free. And there's one called Cayden Live. I use that one. There's another one called DaVinci Resolve. That one's fantastic. It's a little bit hard learning curve to learn. And then there's another one I use called OpenShot. It's very simple and very effective. But those are some of my favorite video editors that I use.
DaVinci Code's supposed to be really, or DaVinci Resolve, whatever it is supposed to be really good from what I...
Yeah, the learning curve is pretty stiff, though. But if you're doing like Adobe Premiere and then you step into DaVinci,
I haven't tried it.
You haven't? Yeah, it's pretty good. Does a lot of good stuff with color grading and stuff. If you're going to use like Adobe Premiere and then you step into DaVinci Resolve, the learning curve is almost the same. And when I first started my channel, I didn't edit anything.
Oh, you didn't?
What's that? No, I didn't edit nothing.
You didn't edit it?
I would film.
Oh, wow.
I would film different takes, and then I would just put the pieces together and make that into a video. back then you could do it on YouTube. You could actually put the pieces together on YouTube. But I don't know if we have that option anymore because I edit my stuff outside of YouTube and then I upload it.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm uploading a video right now as we speak. And that's probably why my internet's a little slow.
What was I going to ask you? So your channel pretty much with your start was more of you reloading, not reloading, but what do you call it?
Ammunition?
Yeah, it was more ammunition and stuff like that. But I know you've had a lot of issues with YouTube on that. So are you changing more the style of your channel and going to kind of split that off to another channel, or how's that going to work for you?
Yeah, I do have a second channel. I don't do a lot there, but I do have an unfiltered channel where I don't watch my language and I talk about politics and I get passionate about things. But I kind of slowed down on that channel. But I do have some things that, you know, I would like to do. I got a plan. I want to do a van thing. I'm looking at selling my truck right now because I'm going to get a van. And next year I plan on being a van channel. So traveling the country. Yeah, that's what I'm looking to do.
You're moving to the van life.
Yes, I am. Van Jitsu, baby. That's going to be my channel.
I like it.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited.
That's interesting. So you're going to keep your property though, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Until I realize have that as my home base as well as probably my parents' house here. And then if it's something that I really want to do for a lifestyle, then I'll sell my house. You know, it's not, I see so many people, like look at Ray, for example, he's doing great. You know, I see stuff like that and I'm like, yeah, I've been thinking about this van thing for a long time. I've also been thinking about tiny houses and building a tiny house on my land out there and just living without being in the wheel of the rat race, you know, running and paying all these utility bills and you got to pay your electric bill and you got to pay your gas bill and you got to pay. Why not be your own electrician? Why not be, you know, doing your own plumbing and setting up your own, being your own person and do your own thing, and you don't have to be the slave to the system no more.
Living off grid, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I'm over here at my parents' house right now because I just got done installing a solar system on their RV. So just got done installing that system and it's working pretty good. Got a couple little kinks left to work out, but it's a really nice system that we put on there.
Nice. So you were talking earlier, your first YouTube video, your daughter shot. So your daughter is so you were in military, right?
Yes. I'm a Navy.
Your daughter's following in your footsteps?
She is. Yeah, I'm a Navy veteran and my daughter is also in the Navy too. She's 18 years old. She'll be 19 in June. And she's already E3. And in about a week, she's going to graduate from A school, being a fire controlman. And she's going to be E4 in about a week. It's crazy. Oh, wow. She's got less than a year in the Navy. And she's already about to put on E4. It blows me away. That kid is crazy. And she's going to be in school for another almost year. She finishes this A school and then she's going to go to a C school. She's in Chicago right now. And then when she gets done with Chicago, they're going to put her in Virginia. And wow. I'm going to go try to see her. I'm going to go try to see her the very first weekend, probably of April. I might go try to see her.
Cool. Interesting. I saw a question here. what part of the world do you live in?
So I live in northern Arizona, a small town called Winslow. I don't know if you remember the Eagles. They used to sing that song, Take It Easy.
Yeah.
Remember that song from the Eagles,
Yeah.
Take It Easy, where they say, I was standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. That's my hometown.
Okay. It's
Winslow,
been a while
Arizona.
since I've been there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool little town. If you blink, you missed it. It's a small town. We have 2 stoplights.
Oh, wow. Last time I
For a
was in
long time,
Arizona, I was in Phoenix. That was the last time I was there.
yeah, Phoenix is big. Yeah, I was just there, 2 weeks ago or something like that. I can go visit the city, but I don't want to live in the big city. That's why the van thing really, really is exciting for me, because I think being a van life kind of person, you can live anywhere in America. Wherever you choose to be, that's where you can be.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of research and studying, and getting my stuff set up for what kind of solar system I'm going to use, how many watts of power I'm going to put up there. And I just got a pressure cooker that's a smaller one that takes less wattage to run, things like that. So I'm kind of slowly setting myself up, getting ready to put my truck up for sale and get that sold so I can get out from under that payment and get into a van. And that's another thing I'm trying to figure out, is what kind of van I'm looking at to get. Been looking at those Chevy Express cargo vans, kind of like what Ray has. But then I'm also looking at these Ford Transits that are real tall. And those are pretty interesting too. Those have a little more square footage inside. So I don't know. I think that would be nice for putting more cabinets and stuff up there, more storage and things like that. So not sure what I'm going to get yet, but it's going to be pretty cool.
No, like
It'll be a lot of fun.
get your Chevy Expresses, and I'm looking at those as like, those would be good for off-roading, but your height. So then I've always wondered if you could do pop-ups and pop-outs on those. A pop-up, so the roof you got to stand, and pop out so you can make it a bit wider.
Yeah, that would be cool. I plan on living outside. I plan on living outside of the van, as long as it's not cold winter weather. But, if I'm in the summertime, I'm not going to be cooped up in that van. I'm going to be out, hiking and doing all my things. Because I think really when it comes to life, and I tell my mom this and my family and my friends all the time, you only die once. Everybody says, oh, you only live once. I disagree. I think you only die one time. So you live every single day of your life. You got to get out and live. And that's what I plan to do. If I was to die tomorrow, just know that I died a happy man, because I've done a lot of things in my life, and I'm going to continue to live that way. I'm kind of a nomad in a sense. So it's kind of an interesting way of looking at things.
So Mike had a question here. He wants to know about a collab with Melissa Miller.
Let me see that again. Collab with, I don't know who Melissa Miller is. I'm not familiar with Melissa Miller.
I don't know who that is either.
If this is this person in Arizona, or if Mike.
And is she cute? Like,
yeah, is she single? Because she a Christian?
That makes a difference too. Trust me. Okay. Where would you like to travel to, and what do you want to do on your travel?
Well, for one, I want to travel all 48 states. I want to do all these states and check out this whole country. I've already been to Hawaii a couple times, so I don't need to do that one. But like the lower 48 is the states I'm planning to travel, and I figure I'll take my time in each state, and if it's something that I'm enjoying, I might stay a little longer there, and maybe eventually find a place that I like where there's some land or something I can purchase and maybe build a tiny house or something like that on that land. It'd be cool. So I see that she was on Naked and Afraid.
And Bree just dropped the link for her.
Nice.
So Solex told me something a little disturbing this morning of the Navy boys.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what it was called. Solex can put it in the chat. But it was a little disturbing, and I'm going, okay. It was some sort of initiation of getting something out of people's belly buttons.
Oh, probably talking about WOG Day, when you pass the equator and you become a shellback. Yeah, it's an old, yeah. And
I'm just like,
yeah, and he's telling you, no, don't bring it up. Yeah, it's called WOG Day, and until you've crossed the equator, you're considered a polywog. And then once you cross the equator, you go through a whole ceremony where you get initiated into becoming a shellback. And there's a lot of crazy things that happen on that what do they call that? That initiation day, I guess, for the lack of a better way of describing it. Yeah, but you become a shellback. And then the next time you cross the equator, now you get to mess with all the wogs and give them a hard time.
Yeah, that was on Mike's this morning. They were talking about this. Too much info.
Yeah. They have rotten food and stuff from the galley, and you got to go run through it, and it gets pretty messy. It's pretty crazy. So I'm trying to find. Go ahead.
So
I'm trying to find her channel.
I'm going to move
Melissa
past
Miller.
that.
Okay.
If there's one YouTube channel out there that really inspires you, what channel is that? And why?
There's so many. There's many. Recently I've been watching this Isabel Page. This girl is 22 years old and she is on fire for life. She's a vegan and she cooks her food. She lives in a tiny house and she's just dancing and singing and just a full free spirit kind of person. I love her channel. Yeah, I binge watch her channel and she doesn't even monetize. She's got 360,000 subs or something like that. And she doesn't even monetize. And she'll post a video and within an hour, it's got 15,000 views or something crazy. And she's just fantastic. I like watching her channel because I like her story. I like her who she is and her spirit and the free-willed kind of person that she is. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, I am subscribed to her.
Yeah, I like her. And then I like, of course, I like Dave Canterbury, the Pathfinder School. I like his channel. Yep. That's where I learn a lot of survival stuff, and that's who I'm certified under. I like his channel, and I like Corporal's Corner. I like his channel. He's a Dave Canterbury instructor. He's got a channel too, and he's putting out pretty good videos. And he's a fellow Arizonan, and I was supposed to hook up with him, but then his channel got super popular, and he just took off. And it's kind of funny when some YouTubers take off and they get big, they kind of forget the people that they were gonna meet or hang out with, because him and I were working on getting together and doing a collab, and then he blew up, and then it's like he kind of forgot about me a little bit. But I'm sure we'll get together at some point.
I know the feeling. So Solex has a question for you.
Okay, what's that?
The golden shellback? I'm scared to
ask. I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe he did something special. I don't know. My card just says shellback. Yeah, I have no clue.
Yeah.
But if you find out, let me know.
I'm pretty sure he might put it multiple.
Yeah, maybe he crossed the equator a few times or something. I don't know.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
What are some words of advice that you can leave somebody with?
Just be yourself. Get out there. Don't try to put on any persona, or don't try to be, anybody that you're not. Get out there, be who you are, say what you say, mean what you mean. If you screw up, apologize. If you make a mistake or you hurt someone's feelings, and do it right, do the right thing. I don't know. Be patient with people. We don't know what that guy over there, what his battle is, what he's got going on in his head. We don't know.
Yep.
Maybe that woman that's, maybe she had some traumatic experience in her life. We don't know. So just love people, I guess, is what I could say.
No, I agree.
Be one of the good people. Yeah.
You can put on a mask. And the mask can cover a lot, but behind that mask, I mean, who knows what's happening in a person's life?
That's right.
This might be a way of them reaching out. This might be a way of them asking for help. This might be a way of them feeling better about certain things that are happening in their life. You don't know. I see so many things that I sit there and scratch my head over, and I'm just like, okay. But you don't know the circumstances. And I think the best thing in this weird world of YouTube is we look at it as a family. And in families, of course, you're going to have issues. You're going to have relatives that don't get along. And I think the best thing to do is you're going to have a whole bunch of different personalities. And I think I think it's important, and a lot of people do. Some people don't care. But if you're friends and you know people, try not to step on their toes. Try to be there for people and support them. And to be honest, I think that's the best thing.
For sure. And pick your battles. If you know that if I support candidate A and they support candidate B, well, then we just don't need to be talking politics. Let them believe what they want, and I'll believe what I want, and we don't need to discuss it.
I lost a friend over that. I'm Canadian, so I don't get to vote, but I was having fun at it. And I met Trump many years ago on an event. I read his books and stuff like that. But I saw a really funny cartoon, and I posted it on my Facebook page, and it was, again, politics, but it was Biden kicking Trump, saying "Bye, Dawn," right? I thought it was funny.
I
mean, you can go the other way too, but it just didn't have the same thing. But anyway, I heard it from her up one side and down the other side. And how dare you? And I'm going, but it's my page. It's my opinion. It's me having fun. You post stuff on your page. I don't make comments. It's your page.
And in that case, she should have just scrolled on by. Because I'll have that on my Facebook too.
But she's no longer a friend.
Oh my!
Because she's like, what you did was wrong. And I'm going, we've been friends for 30 years, and you're taking our friendship of 30 years and throwing it away because I was just having a bit of fun on my own page, where it's my own opinion, and I didn't say anything about any of your stuff because it's your page.
People need to learn how to. They need to learn how to just scroll on and just keep scrolling and like, oh, whatever. I don't like that post, but let me just keep scrolling on next, because everybody has their days.
Oh, so Solex put it here. A golden shellback is when you pass over the 180th, can't speak today, meridian, or international dateline and the zero latitude at the same time.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Is the initiation different?
I don't know.
I'm scared to ask.
Dang, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that is nuts. That is crazy.
And I think V just put it perfectly. Friendship is mutual respect.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Because
There's
it's hard
one
to
thing
be.
that we. It's hard to be.
It's hard
Go
to
ahead.
have. It's hard to have friendship when it's one-sided. And it's
Yeah.
kind of like you said, you know, I've got a friend that, you know, he's doing well on YouTube. And sure, we weren't friends for a while, reconnected. He kind of got me back into YouTube, but now he's gotten over that mark, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'll text him, I don't hear anything. I'll call him, I don't hear anything. And I'm going, but really? I mean, I know that things change, but for me, I mean, I'm smaller. Yeah, that's fine, whatever. But at the same time, you still need to remember that you've got real friends. You've got real
Yes.
people there that care about you and have been there before all this too. And
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I just sit there and go, yeah, those are things I don't want to do.
Yeah.
You still have people that you need to respect and they're still in your life. And you know what, you might get up to who knows what, but at the same time, you just, I don't know. I think
Yeah.
it's
I agree.
important to be down to earth.
For sure. Yep, I agree. Some of the comments are funny.
So he says she still won't do dishes.
Still won't do your dishes.
Golden shellback. Back. You
Jack Stanke, Neptune's flag.
ship and
Yeah, and Mike's The Adventures of Traveling Mike. That's true. You shouldn't have put a lot of effort into a friendship like that. That's true. You kind of feel. I think when you're in, what do they say, that quote? In times of prosperity, everybody's your friend, and in times of adversity, you know who your friends are.
and that's so true. It's like, you know, and I mean, I've got like being part of the modeling industry and the film industry before. I mean, I've got still producer friends. I've got casting agents. I've got celebrities that I know. They're friends. I don't call on them for things. We'll email, we'll call, whatever it is, but we still talk.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a friend that, you know, she was on a show dropped her. She wasn't doing well. Still there for her. She's got picked up. She's on a big show now. Still there for her, and she's still there for me.
That's cool when people don't change. You know, when their colors stay true.
And I had this conversation with a contractor. He's got his own TV show and stuff like that, and we were having. Everybody wants to picture with him. Everyone wants to be around him. And we were just talking on the side, and he was like, you know, the one thing that I like about you is that you don't care. And I don't. I've been there. I've seen it. I've lived it. I've done it. And to me, it's nothing important. So by treating these people as humans, like they are, that's all they want. Yeah, sure, it's nice to have, you know, the lights and flashing and all that stuff sometimes. But at the same time, it's nice to just be you.
For sure.
And I think that's what some people need. They get caught up in that glam. It's like all the cameras and all the lights, and I've got 100 and whatever subs, and I've got a plaque and all this stuff. That's all great. But let's get down to the grassroots of things. And it's like V said there, right?
And it's because some people they forget that they put their pants on the same as everybody else, one leg in at a time. You know, they forget those simple things. They think they look at these numbers and these, I got this many people, and they forget who they really are. They let this false sense of these numbers and things let them think they're more important or something. They're no different than anyone next to them.
But then that lays the question, are those true friends? And it's like Mike said here. He's like, I lost a long time childhood friend just a few years ago over $40.
Yeah, well, that was the best $40 you ever invested.
They weren't a friend, obviously.
Yep. Money well spent.
My best friend and I mean, we've had our squabbles. We've known each other since our dads were friends before we were born. So we were born into friendship. We've had our squabbles, but we talked about it. I went away to school and came back. And there was a time there that, you know what, the friendship kind of dwindled a little. I wasn't his best man at his wedding. I was hurt. But I was still, he put me in his wedding as a candle lighter or whatever. And sorry, Brendan, if you're listening, I'm just being honest. And that to me, it didn't matter. We were still friends. And for my wedding, he was still my best man. We will always be friends till we're dead. So it doesn't matter. That friendship is there. It's like having a brother. And I think that's what's important, is that friendship goes on. And he's starting his YouTube channel and he's asking me for advice. And you know what? I love it. I mean, I got into YouTube because of a friend of mine and his help and his suggestions and stuff like that. And I can kind of see how he felt. But the other side of it, I still want to be there for my friend when I get to the other side or get that plaque or whatever it is. I still want to be real. I don't want to be stuck up. I don't want to be so busy that I can't respond to people or friends or whatever it might be. And I understand some people can't handle it, which is fine. Yeah. But you always need to take time for your friends and family.
For sure. And those comments and emails and messages can get very overwhelming as you grow. I used to really try so hard to comment back to every single comment. And it got to a point where that is impossible. It's tough.
And that's what he said too,
unless I hired a team to do it, you know, or something, but then that's not me. And so what I do is when I drop a video, I usually watch it for a few, you know, maybe a week, and then I'll try to comment on that first week if I can, and then it's on to the next video. And then if I see, you'll notice too that a lot of people ask the same question over and over, and you can tell that they're not reading the comments or watching a video. It's like, I've already answered that question in the comments, or in the video. I explained that in the video. Yeah. But pretty crazy.
Yeah. Or you get the ones that's like, okay, I subbed. Can you sub to me? Well, no.
Oh, yeah. Sub for sub. Yeah.
Like, I don't like your channel. I don't know who you are. If I like your channel, I'm going to sub. If I don't, why would I sub? And that's just me being honest, right? It's like, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there to support you for real. I'm not going to be there just for whatever.
That is so true.
Like, for me to support somebody, I'm going to be there as a real friend, as a real YouTube. I'm not going to support you to go higher on that ladder or to get more publicity for my YouTube channel or whatever it might be. It's genuine, right? So
that's true. Yeah.
And that's kind of the way my shift is towards these lives as well, is I'm not a van lifer. I'm off-road. I'm camping. I'm outdoors. And that's kind of why I'm reaching more to those kind of people, is people that relate more to the outdoors, to the adventure. And that's you.
Yep.
You're out there.
A good crowd.
Oh, it is. And then that's how I grew up as well, right?
And I helped the person. Go ahead. I helped the person build a company one time, and it wasn't like a major company, but I helped this individual, wanted me to share and do, you know, like shout outs, and get all my friends to go over and help this person out. And I did, and this individual gained a lot of followers, and a lot of people, went over there and showed their love, and then the true colors come out in this individual, and they're like, I actually got kicked out of the page on Facebook for that company, and I'm like, what the hell was that about? And they tell me, well, you didn't, all the people that you sent over didn't buy any product. And I'm like, that doesn't matter if they bought the product or not. I helped you grow this thing, know. And then, so yeah, it's like bite the hand that feeds you kind of people.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah. So in the end, I stepped back and I watched it all happen. And within a year, the whole thing crumbled to the ground. It's crazy. But you can't treat people that way. That's the moral of the story.
You can't.
You can't treat people that way.
And I'm the type of person as well that I'm here to help people. And I like to help people. But then when you kind of get slapped in the face like that, you sit there and go, but why? Like, you're biting the hand that's feeding you.
Yeah. Yeah. And
it's
unfortunate. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's too bad that people get a little taste of, success, and then especially when you help them build that success, and then they want to turn on you.
And sometimes I think the best thing to do is let people learn from their mistakes. You can try to help people as much as possible, but there's only so many times that you can get your hands stepped on or your feet stepped on before you've had enough.
That's right. So true. So true.
So
yep.
I don't know.
That is absolutely true. Yep, that's so true.
So, we're over the hour. So in closing, what is something that you want to leave with people as we close?
So that's a really good question. I got to think about that because that's dynamite question. Something I'd like to leave with them. Wow. I think it's all about love. It's all about, if you see somebody having a hard time, maybe be cool to them that day, or because we don't know, ultimately, we don't know what kind of journey they got, what do they got going on. Is there a health issue with some of their family, or are they suffering from something? Or, you've got veterans that have post-traumatic stress. You've got this Mission 22 organization where every single day, 22 American veterans commit suicide. I guess that just goes to show that sometimes the book isn't what the cover shows.
Yep.
So try to understand people, invest the time if they're, invest the time in the people, and it's all about love. It's all about putting yourself out there and caring for people and keeping your circle to true people.
Yeah. I think we all wear masks.
Friends. Like the comment that came through. Some people do. Yes, they do.
Yep.
For sure. Yeah. When, Adventures of Traveling Mike said that I think he lent $40 to a friend, I still think that that's probably the best $40 ever spent.
It is.
Now you can minimize that circle a little bit.
And I mean, over $40. Like, I lent a guy $20 that he said he was going to pay back. I knew I would never see that again. But at the same time, I don't know if his story was true or not. I felt I'm helping somebody. So it made me feel good.
Yep. That's so true.
But yeah, you go out of your way. I did a video of there was this guy who's stranded in his tent or his camper. Went out there. I went over and I talked to my church. They gave us a bunch of food. I had a bunch of other people give us some clothing and more food. And I took it out there. And it took me a whole day to do it. It was probably a good 800 kilometers there and back. But I took him all this clothing and all this food, and that was in fall time, just because I knew winter was coming.
Yep. That's a good thing. And that's probably exactly what he needed at that time.
Yep.
It's fantastic to have people like that in your circle.
It is. I mean,
'Cause
it's the little things that mean a lot to people.
That's right. I'm that kind of person too. You know, once you're my friend, you know, it's like if you call me at 2 a.m, I'm there. You know, if I don't have something going on, or, you know, like, yeah, call me and I'll show up.
I'm the same way. If you can wake me up.
Crazy. Yeah.
I'm a pretty sound sleeper.
Push the dog out way.
Yes.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, shoot. Yeah, that's so funny. Yep.
Cayden,
Hi. Love the green shirt.
He wanted to be cool. A floating head, and I can see that he is.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But I really appreciate you taking your time, coming up and
likewise
talking to us and just opening up.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure being here, and I really appreciate you bringing me on. It was a lot of fun.
Oh my goodness, Cayden.
He's disappeared.
Yeah, I got a bit of a reflection right here.
Yeah, that's all I can see. Yeah. He's good. He's good.
Floating ghost.
That's funny. Yep.
Kids.
Yeah.
But I won't keep you. I'll let you get back to your family. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate you sharing everything with everybody. It means a lot.
Likewise. Thank you. Mutual. Right back at you, my friend. Thanks you so much. God bless you guys. And thank you guys for watching. Thanks for having me on.
Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
What an amazing fellow. It amazes me sometimes that you can have people out there that just they have such a big heart, and Skeet is one of those people that he would literally give the shirt off his back to help somebody. And I think we need more people like that. And I do really appreciate Skeet coming up, sharing his time as he's with his parents, and just talking. And I really appreciate all of you guys joining us today. And we got the headless or the bodiless person.
What?
But I really appreciate all of you. Wish you all good night. I don't know if Bree or V can drop the link. We'll go over and we'll raid RV DJ Sonia.
I'll do it.
But yes, I do really appreciate everybody, and thank you so much for being a part of our family. It means a lot. It really does. And if you don't please. If you don't or haven't already, you can click on that button up there and subscribe to our channel, and you become part of our Epic Squad. And being a member, it helps support us. It helps us film. It helps us do more adventures. You get discounts on clothing, merch. Plus, you become part of the Epic Squad exclusively just to you guys. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. If you have any questions, you can check us out on the website, vancityadventure.ca. And I guess we're not going over this, Sonia's girls only. But if you want to, feel free. But yes.
What?
Kidding. Can you stop, please? So I really appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for stopping in. And it was a great interview. And we are going to jump out of here and let you all go. Thanks, guys.